Hey guys, this is Bella, and this is going to be my last Ozempic update video. As the post-it note says, I quit. I took my last shot last week and I talked with my doctor. I've got a plan going forward. I've got some actually kind of exciting new updates to talk about in this video. I'm going to go over kind of the pros and cons of this medication as well that were the reason that I finally decided to stop taking it. Just for a little bit of background information, I have been on Ozempic for right at 10 months. So I've seen pretty slow weight loss. I've lost about 1.5 to 1.6 pounds per month. And one of the bigger issues was that I was starting to have some unexplained stomach pain, and I've gotten to the point where I cannot justify the cost anymore. It's costing me around $400 a month to take this medication. So I wanted to explore some lower cost options when it comes to weight loss medication. And so we're gonna get into some different things in the video about kind of how I'm gonna proceed going forward. And I did talk to my doctor and they said that it's fine to quit taking Ozempic. I can taper off if I want to, but since the medication stays in your body for a couple of weeks, I think it said 4 to 5 weeks after your last dose, your body's kind of going to be tapering off of it anyways. So I am going to, kind of monitor things, but I think for right now, that's going to be fine to just quit taking it. So the major reason that I'm quitting Ozempic, I guess, is financial, but also in terms of sustainability. I just can't continue to justify paying this much money for this drug when I know that my insurance is never going to cover it and there's not going to be an opportunity for me to stay on it and have it covered. I've spent over $2,000, I think probably closer to $3,000 on this medication. And it's been incredibly stressful trying to figure out where to get it. There's always going to be shortages. There's been several times where the clinic that I get it told me that they were out and I would have to come back. I'm also at the point where I'm having to get it weekly. They do not give me the injections to take home. So it's just been a little bit frustrating to kind of be able to maintain being on this medicine. It's a little bit more work than what I would like it to be, especially considering, you don't want to have to think about something constantly. One of the things that I love about Ozempic is that it has really removed that feeling of constantly thinking about food for me. So I'm a little bit worried about how my appetite is going to act. I'm going to talk about that a little bit in the video as well. But my overall decision, I guess, is one, financial, but also just availability. A little bit about the barriers of having to go to the clinic once a week has been really frustrating, and also the unexplained stomach pain. So I had some pain like right below my ribs on my left side, and I wound up getting an ultrasound and they didn't see anything, and then they actually sent me to get a CT scan and they didn't see anything. And so I'm kind of left wondering, like, what is causing this stomach pain? And I know that Ozempic can cause pancreatitis, and it can also cause like numerous GI issues and gut issues. And I really kind of want to get off of it to see if that is what's causing me this stomach pain, because at this point, I don't want to do anything that's going to harm my body or make me feel bad. So I can't point to Ozempic specifically to say that this is causing me stomach pain, but the only thing I know to do is remove it from the equation and see if the stomach pain goes away at this point. My doctor is planning on setting me up with a rheumatologist. I did go and see the hematologist because some of my blood work was coming back very abnormal, very high white blood cell count. My body was literally acting as if someone's attacking it. And just for context, I do have chronic back pain, so I've had a lot of issues with pain daily, and I think that's one of the reasons why my blood count was so off. I'm actually scheduled to get another epidural steroid injection in my back like in a couple of days. And so just having all these other issues going on has sort of complicated being on Ozempic as well. But for the rheumatology referral, they are going to try to figure out if I have some kind of autoimmune disease or some kind of chronic disease that is causing me to have these issues, because I've always felt kind of off when it comes to energy levels. and it's been something that has been just, I guess I've gotten used to it, but I always get tired around 2 or 3 o'clock, and I've always had issues with, just feeling tired after I've slept a full night of sleep. So I'm hoping that this consult with the rheumatologist will be good. The hematologist told me that there is, no cancer or anything like that, which was a huge relief because I had to wait 2 weeks to get the test results after they told me that my levels were all elevated and something was going on with my blood. So it was kind of a stressful couple of weeks, but I'm really happy to say that I don't have anything major like that going on. And since I had that CT scan, I guess they have ruled out any kind of like growth or anything. And I actually just learned that the most common reason that people go to the emergency room in the United States is for stomach pain, because there's so many different reasons that you can be in stomach pain. There's a lot of organs in that area, and there's just a lot of different causes it could be. At this point, the pain is not crazy. It's not causing me to go to the emergency room or anything like that. It's more or less just unexplained, and it just kind of is making me uncomfortable. So we're going to continue to explore that. But in terms of the Ozempic, I did want to get off of that to kind of see if that helps with the pain symptoms. So a lot of people come off of Ozempic and they say, oh, I gained all the weight back or something like that, or they say that their appetite came back crazy. And I was concerned about that. I know a lot of the habits that I've been doing while I'm on Ozempic have been habits that I've always had, such as like tracking calories and being pretty active. I always go to the gym a couple times a week or walk outside with my dogs. So I wasn't, super worried about the weight just falling back on, because my appetite suppression from Ozempic has started to kind of go away. And that was also one of the frustrating things about paying $400 a month for something that wasn't really working as well anymore. The appetite suppression was the main thing that I felt like helped me, because I always kind of have thoughts about food. I've had problems with binge eating in the past where, food would just be in the forefront of my mind all the time. And I'm happy to say that I really haven't binged in probably over a year at this point. Getting my mental health in order and things like that have really helped as well, and just being in a more calm and controlled environment definitely helps. But I think that what I'm gonna do going forward might surprise some of you, and I hope that you guys don't judge me too harshly for this. I am going to start taking phentermine to continue my weight loss journey, and also to help me with the appetite suppression. So I did talk to my doctor about it, and I was kind of like, is there anything else that we can try? Is there anything that is covered by my insurance? And the cool thing about phentermine is that it costs $10 a month instead of $400 a month. So while it does not have the same physiological effects as Ozempic or Mounjaro or Wegovy, it is a fraction of the cost, and I know that it's an effective drug, and I've taken it in the past. I do have some videos about taking it. One of my videos was like my first month on phentermine, and then the other one was like why I don't recommend phentermine, and I just want to give you some backstory to that. So I took phentermine when I was like 24, and I had a bad experience where I had like some panic attacks, and I was having a lot of anxiety on it. And I think part of the reason was my anxiety was not being managed. Now I take anxiety medication, and another reason for it, I guess, was like I wasn't in the best place mentally to begin with. So, that kind of contributed to not doing that great on the phentermine. But I do want to give it another try, and I think that the cool thing about just learning and growing as you get older is you can change your mind and you can change your approach to things, and it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. So I'm going to kind of see how this goes. I'm under the supervision of a doctor. I'm going to be having monthly appointments with the doctor, and they're going to go over, different things like my labs. I had to get an EKG done in order to be on phentermine, because one of the things that it does is it speeds up your heart rate. And I also think I had blood work done from them. They said that my A1C level was 5. The last time I had it checked, it was 5.2. So that is coming down a little bit. So that's encouraging for me to continue losing this weight. I do have some pictures of me, I guess, that are before and after pictures from Ozempic that I wanted to share with you all, because after 9 months, I've lost 16 pounds, and it doesn't seem like much to most people, but I am only 5 foot tall. So, it really shows, and I feel like just seeing these pictures gives me the motivation, I guess, to continue and to not be ashamed of being on a weight loss journey and needing medication, because if you had any other illness besides being overweight, you could get medication and nobody would say anything about it. But for some reason, when you take medication for being overweight, everyone has to chime in and say, you know, you're doing it wrong, or, you know, you need to do it without the medicine or whatever. So in my opinion, you know, it's between you and your doctor, and if you can afford it and you can sustain it, that's your business. Switching from Ozempic to phentermine, I think, is going to be different in terms of my energy levels are probably going to be better. Having the chronic pain and the fatigue, I think, is something that really limits me in terms of what I'm able to accomplish every day, because if you're starting out with a full bar of energy, like most people, I start out with probably like a half bar of energy, because I wake up every day in pain and I go to sleep every day in pain. And it's really not an exaggeration at all. I've kind of come to live with it, but it's really not something that I would wish on anybody. But with that being said, I think that the phentermine is going to help me with my energy levels, where Ozempic really only helped with appetite suppression. So I would expect to be, you know, losing weight the first couple of weeks on this drug. Especially when you start a new drug, you're definitely, you know, you're going to see the most effects. I know when I first started Ozempic, I had like no appetite at all. I'm going to continue eating 3 meals a day and counting calories and staying active and pretty much doing all the things that I've been doing before. I'm just switching from Ozempic to phentermine. So I'm assuming you guys will have a lot of opinions and questions about this. Like I said, I would stay on Ozempic if it wasn't for the cost and it wasn't for this kind of like unexplained health problems that I've been having with my stomach. I'm wondering, after a couple of weeks, will the stomach pain go away? But I will try to update you guys on this. My plan is to do an update video for my first week on phentermine and probably my first month, because I think that, you know, I'll be able to see some progress and kind of tell how the drug is working. I want to close this out by saying that Ozempic really helped me. It was something that I used as a tool to lose weight and also to kind of gain a little bit more control around how I behave around food and how food affects me. And it's something that I feel is a very effective drug. And I feel like hopefully it becomes more widely available, and there are some competitors that can come out with more of these GLP-1 drugs. And I could go on a 20-minute rant about how unaffordable they are and how inaccessible they are, but I guess I'll just have to save that for another time. I want to encourage all of you, if you are thinking about trying to lose weight or you're looking for some solution, definitely talk to your doctor, because I mean, doctors are a resource and they can help us, you know, get the tools that we need. And so going forward with phentermine, I'm going to continue what I'm doing, stay on the path, and hope that I will continue to lose weight. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.